Is Google Home Hub worth buying? I've got one right here. Got it for Christmas. Let's talk about that. First of all, hi to all the new dads out there. This is Dad Reviews. This is where I give you my unedited, hopefully more authentic look at the products that I like, use, and have. So if you're interested in that, you might want to consider clicking that subscribe button. So like I said, this is the Google Home Hub here. I got it for Christmas this past year. And I gotta say, I'm finding a lot of uses for it. The main use that I have for it is asking it to play music. I like to listen to a lot of music, so I've connected my Google Play Music library to it, and I have all my music stored in Google Play Music because you can upload songs to them, and they also have radio stations, so it's kind of like your iTunes music library and Spotify kind of smashed together into one. So I really like that. It does have a nice speaker in the back here, nice bass speaker and treble and everything back here, as opposed to the little minis, which I have one of those as well, which I'm going to do in a follow-up review. It's not as good of a speaker, but I definitely say that this one definitely has some upgrade to it. You do have a cord in the back here. You know how we do on Dad Reviews. Y'all know how we do, how we measure these cords? See how long that cord is. That is probably about a 5-foot cord if I had to guess. It's plugged in right now, and I didn't want to have to unplug it because then it's going to restart, and it takes a minute to restart. I also use Google Photos for my pictures, and you can connect your photos to the Google Home Hub, and as kind of like a screensaver picture frame type of thing, it'll display all of your recent photos or highlights, or you can even say, you know, hi, Google. I'm trying not to say the word so that y'all's don't go off if you do have one. You know, show me my recent photos of, you know, pick a person, and then that you have labeled in your iPhotos live or in your Google Photos library, and it'll show it up on the screen there. Seems to work really well as far as response to the voice. In fact, me and my friend, whenever I bought my minis, my friend, we bought a 3-pack and he got one of them and he paid me back for it, but he also has an Alexa, and he said that the Google Mini picked up his voice better than the Alexa did. What he didn't like about the Mini, this should be for that's for the next review, that's for tomorrow's video. On the back here, there is a little switch if you want to turn the microphone off, you can do that right there. And on the front here, there are light sensors, so whenever it does get dark at night, it shuts it down to a black screen, and then it just puts the time really nice and big on there as well. On the bottom here, they have the time and the temperature of your location whenever you have your location set up. So that's nice. And then of course you can ask it the weather, you can ask it questions, you can ask it to make phone calls if you set up the number. It does it through VoIP. You have to set up caller ID through it. One thing that you can't do is text messaging through it, but that I think will eventually come to it, and I've heard that there's some hacks or ways to get around that, probably using if this then that if I had to guess. On the back here, there is a little microphone toggle. It does get quite loud if you do want to, it's not really gonna show up here on the video very well. There's another option where you can swipe up and you can get your, you can use your finger to use the, can y'all see that? Yeah, it's a touch screen. And then also in the swipe up, there's the brightness, the volume, do not disturb, or this one might be, do not disturb, set a timer, and then your settings right there. That's another great thing that we use this for is cooking. My wife loves to cook, and she'll say, you know, hey, Google, will you find a recipe with teriyaki chicken or whatever? And so it'll pull up, you know, a good 10 or so, 6 to 10 recipes of teriyaki chicken, and then you can hit start cooking, and it takes you step by step through the process, and then as you're cooking, you just say, okay, next step, okay, next step. And whenever you're ready for it, it's ready to give you that next step. You can also, you know, play the music while you're cooking and all that type of stuff. While you're cooking, you can set the timers, which is another great benefit, especially if you have kids in your house and, you know, they may get into trouble, or you're trying to have them do something in a certain amount of time. You know, you have 30 minutes to do your homework, let's set a timer. So you set your timer, and then hopefully they do it. That's been really great. And also, you can have more than one timer through the Google Home Hub. So if you have you know, something going in the oven, maybe something going if you have a second oven, or maybe kids doing homework, or someone's in timeout, or they have so much time to play outside, you can set multiple timers, which has been very, very nice as well. All in all, I really like the device. The difference between the screen and the Mini, or the taller one, the Google Home Hub, just Google Home, I think is what it's called, is mainly for the recipe thing and the cooking. If you're gonna keep this in the kitchen, or if you wanna have like a fancy, really fancy photo display, you know, it can pull all of your photos, which is nice. I like seeing all my photos on there whenever, you know, I'm doing the dishes or whatever. I'll play some music, my photos will come up and I can just see them. It also makes for a nice clock, I will say that. You can set alarms with it. There's also the whole routines thing that you can do with it, where you can have it say, you know, you say good morning, and then it does like this, and this, and this, and this, like, you know, set up a list of things for it to do. I do have some smart bulbs around the house, which I've done in previous videos. Those work great with it. I've got those smart sockets as well. Those work great with it. Nest, Google bought Nest, so I know it works with a Nest thermostat or any of the other Nest products. You know, their Nest doorbell, or the smoke alarms, and the cameras and all that type of stuff. So if you want something that kind of works with all of that, I'd tell you to go with the Google Home Hub, because once you have the doorbell or the cameras, you can see all of that on the screen. I do eventually want to get that. Now, one thing I will say, this is a very, very minor detail that I noticed in the Google Home Mini that I really, really liked that wasn't with the Google Home Hub. So with my Google Home Hub, I keep it up here on that window right there in the corner, and the plug is over there. And so there's, I have a little bit of extra wire that runs along the wall there, and I kind of don't like that much. And it's kind of, you know, it's hanging down and whatnot. With the Google Mini, they came these little clips. You got 2 of them with it. And you didn't get it with the Google Home Hub. Why? Why didn't y'all give that to us? I used this, since the Mini came with 2, I used one of them for my Google Home Hub, and I just simply roll up some of the extra wire right there, and I clip it so that the wire is not as long and it's not dragging all over the place and getting stuck in things. So Google, put some of these with the Google Home Hub, or maybe mine just didn't come with them. I don't know. All in all though, I'm really satisfied with this. Like I said, I like to listen to music. My wife likes recipes. We can do all these great things with it, and it really, whenever we have a baby now too, as most of you guys know, and with that baby, you know, you have your baby in your arms and you may not be able to do some of the things. Simple things like turning off a light switch. Sometimes, you know, you're holding the baby at the bottle and you gotta use your head to hit the light switch. Well, with this thing, I can just say, turn off the lights, and it does it. So, like I said, I really, really like this thing. I found so many great uses for it, and it seems like every day I'm finding more and more things that it can do. Like there's certain apps that you can call up to it. There's one called Protein Pal, I believe, and you can ask like, how much protein do I need a day? And it'll answer those questions. There's just so many things I feel that you can link to it that you can do with this that you can't do with some of the other things. You know, it does the shopping list thing. We haven't really gotten into the use of into the hang of using that, but I'm sure that we will. You can ask it directions. Oh, that's another thing that I really like about this. You can ask it directions. It'll show up on the screen, and then it'll say, hey, I've sent those to you on your phone. And all you have to do is swipe, and it pulls up your directions right there, right on Google Maps, so that you can go. Really, really like that. If you guys want to check this thing out, I'm going to link it up down in the description below. If you guys want to go and check one of these things out, I believe they have them on Amazon. If not, I'll link up the Google store or wherever else I can find them. But all in all, great thumbs up here. Highly recommend it. If you guys want to check out some other smart home products, I'm going to put those right there on the screen. I'll see y'all in some of those videos. Thank you, dads, for watching. That thumbs up is always appreciated, and Dad out.